Hello student, myself Amrendra. Welcome again to our YouTube channel GS with me. So let's start today's topic. Today's topic is from political science, that is going to be a democracy. So let's begin with it. Uh, Before telling about democracy, I need to tell you some other forms of government. So after comparing that these government and democracy, you will able to find why democracy is so popular and so attractive in current days. So I'll have to give some idea, some brief idea about these forms of government also. So let's start. So before democracy, what other forms of governments are there also? Some forms of government is still prevailing in some part of the country. Like first is monarchy. Monarchy. Here monarchy means, what is meaning of monarchy? Here the ruling or rulingship is done by the one royal family. One royal family. One royal family. That means all the decision making powers, either external or internal, both are handled by this royal family of the state, of the country. Examples of today's, if I have to consider the examples in today's world, any example, yes, we have this Saudi Arabia, and even UK also, United Kingdom, where the monarchical system is still prevailing, and other countries as well. But these two examples give you brief idea about the monarchical form of government. And the second government form is that autocracy, where these both look same, and even majority of the part is same. But here one royal family is ruling. Here one person is ruling. One person is ruling. Any example of autocracy? Yes, we have examples also, like North Korea, not South Korea. North Korea. Here who is ruling? The Kim Jong Un. He is dictator and he is still ruling all the internal and external uh, factors of the country. And other form of government is also, which is also in some part of the world still prevailing, like the military rule. Military rule. Where it is prevailing? It is prevailing in Myanmar, which is our neighboring country also. In military rule, the government, which is earlier, is replaced by the military, by force and by their power, and all the authority and all the power is in the hand of the military. If I have to find out one common feature in all three, is that there is no consideration of people. Where is people? Nowhere. Means the power of people is very less. That makes democracy, that makes our topic democracy is very important, where people's government, I have to tell you about that. So let's start democracy. So let's start about today's topic is democracy. This is brief idea about the other forms of government which is still prevailing. So democracy, what makes so attractive democracy, I need to tell you, because if I have to add one line, because it allows people to choose their rulers. Means in earlier three examples there is no mention of people, means they are not able to elect or select their ruler. But in democracy, it gives us power, people, to choose their rulers, to elect their ruler. Means if I have to know who is going to rule me, that I have the power, I can choose by voting or by the process of the election. That makes democracy more attractive and more efficient also. Other features of democracy is that it is people's government. Means here peoples are ruling. In the other forms of government like monarchy or autocracy or dictatorship, in military rule, The people who are not in the process of election means, or here I can say that in people's government means that the people which are the citizen of the country, they are the part of the population, they are going to represent us. Means my representative here is representing our constituency. So they are not coming from the outside, they are the part of the people. Means they are the part of population of the country. Like if I compare the military rule, military can be of any country which can rule any state. So here the people government means that the ruler which are ruling the country is from the same country or from the same state. And the other feature, if I have to add people's government after that, it is accountable. It is accountable. Means they are the rulers of the democratic country. They are answerable, they are accountable to whom? To people of the country. Of the country means they are not going to work as autonomous. They cannot work as a independent. They need to answer the people about the decision. For that they have to answer in where? Legislative parliament. They need to answer about their decision, what is the intention behind this decision. So they have to answer, they are accountable to the people of the country. That three features makes a democracy more attractive, which gives power to whom? All the power come from the people of the country. So it is also very important that we have to look at the democracy, that the people who are going to rule the country. So what is our next topic of our lecture is that going to be features of democracy. These are just nature, what makes democracy more attractive. So if I have to add features, let's make it more attractive. If I have to feature, first feature is decision making by so here decision making power is given to whom? Decision making power given to the people of the country. So here people are becomes the core, the center power of the any democratic country. So decision making power goes to people here. And second is one vote and one value. What do you mean by this? If I have to inculcate that the value, what one vote, one value means, if a rickshaw puller is giving a vote and if a president is giving a vote anywhere in the world or anywhere in the country, the vote value is both is going to be same. Means there is no privileges or there is no any discontinuity in the election process. That makes the value of vote of all citizens, either ordinary or some privileged classes. There is no privileged class in the process of election. So the value of vote becomes equal for both, for all even. And the third is free and fair election. Means the election conducting body, which is Election Commission of India, which is going to be free, which is going to work in free manner, and the election conductivity is going to be fair. So here it means that the election commission is going to be unbiased, or we can say that it is not going to promote any party, it is not going to extra giving hand to any party. Means free and fair election here means that they are going to be, elections are going to be very fairly or represented, giving representation to all equally, right? And the other feature is it is limited government power of government is, I have already told about it, that power of the government is come from the people, but it is also, here I have to mention is that the power of the government is also limited because of the people, because people can replace them. After every election they get the opportunity to change their representative. So on the other hand, if I have to say that the representative or any MP and MLA has some kind of pressure, so that they can work in fair manner, they don't need to, they cannot work independently or arbitrarily. They cannot take the decision because they have a pressure that in the next election I may not be selected again. So that gives a limitation to them, that the government which is formed is still in the power, can be replaced after the election or even between the tenure also. So this makes democracy more attractive and more efficient. So let's come to the next part of the our lecture, is that why democracy is so important for us, that even still very or so much countries are still trying to become democracy. Is there any lag or is there any flaw in the democracy? So typically, if logically, if I have to tell you that is there any law or is there any flaw in the democracy, there is no flaw, but yes, some limitations also there. That if I have to tell in one or two lines, that is the democracy has some slow mechanism for decision making. Slow mechanism for decision making here means that there is a process. That process need to be followed. Means if any executive or legislative action has to be took place, that need to be follow a process, which process is continuously checked by the parliament. Like if any bill is need to be passed, the first is presented in the Lok Sabha. After getting passed in Lok Sabha, it goes to the next house, which is Rajya Sabha. After in very much discussion and debates, it goes to the president assent, for the president assent. If president passed this bill, so is in this process, yes, it is very important for any decision to taking consideration debates and all the, all the parts, all the corner of the bill, we need to check it. So that is also very good, but also here is a flaw. We cannot say it is flaw, it is an check and balance, maintaining that we need to check that decision is going to slow because of the process, right? And what is other, if I have to limitation, here I am writing this is limitations. We cannot say flaw or any demerit, but yes, slow making process. And second is, if I have to tell you democracy, what gives it is majority form of government, right? So majority, it's okay, like majority form of government, but also it gives, like it gives other people, like if I am on the minority side, or if I am not, my vote is that for the other party which is not going to win or which is not able to win, so it seems like me that my vote is going to waste, my vote becomes waste. So it is majority of the government, majority form of the government. So means that the winner of the election is going to rule the country. But what about the minorities, or what about the who are choosing their representative that are not going to win or that are not able to win? So here it is very important that majority are going to rule, okay, but what about the minorities? That is one of the limitation also. And the third and the last limitation of the democracy is that we have to analyze all these form of the government, because in we have seen in monarchy or in autocracy, the decision makers have the swiftness, means they are not any they don't have any limitations. So here in democracy we have some, the third most important and the limitation, we cannot say that limitation, but it gives 5-year tenure to government. it it has two sides, that 5-year tenure is enough, or you can say that it is sufficient for government to perform. But on the other hand, if I have to tell you that 5-year gives any MP and MLA to, to do any kind of they have ensured about this time period that they are not going to anywhere. So they have a mindset of that they are able to do whatever they want. They can do in the several times we have seen in news that they are doing any illegal or corrupted activity. So this is the last and the last, and we cannot say it last, but it is what it is. So let quickly recap about today's lecture is that we have started from the forms of the government. What are the forms of the government? The autocracy. First, we have read about the monarchical form of the government, autocracy, and military rule. So, autocracy we have read about the one person who is going to rule the whole state, and in the monarchical form of the government, the one family or one royal family is going to rule. On the other hand, if I have third government, that is going to military rule. Military rule have that the earlier government has been removed by the military. So these all three forms of government, here the role of people is absent. So that's why the countries in the world today also giving more importance to democracy, because the people are able to represent themselves. So it is very important to, we have to praise our country that our country is democratic and is still working very very in efficient manner. So after that, we read about the features of the democracy, that peoples have the representative power, and they are able to they are able to even get for the decision making, and the decision making power is given in the hand of the people. And on the other hand, if I have to see the limitations, that was my last topic, or we can say that was the last part of my lecture, that is slow mechanism for the decision making. Means the decision making process is going to be very slow. And the majority form of government, because the minority are not able to represent themselves, there is no representation of the minorities. So majority form of the government here. And it also gives the 5-year tenure, which is more, I think, the sufficient, or we can say more than sufficient times for the any MP and MLA or representative of R, gives time for their personal achievements or whatever we can say. So these are the limitations of democracy. So this is my end of today's topic. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learn today's something new from this topic. So thank you very much.